Friends, I welcome all you to this Pharma family again. Today we are going to focus on a topic of components of blood. The whole blood is divided into two components, that is blood plasma, which is a watery liquid, that is extracellular matrix which contains dissolved substances, and the other one is formed elements, which are the cells and the cell fragments. If a sample of his blood is centrifuged, that is spun in a small glass tube, the cells which are more denser, that is sink to the bottom of the tube, while the plasma which is less denser will forms a layer on the top. We can see here in the image. The blood is about 45% and the formed elements and the other 55% is blood plasma. Normally more than 99% of the formed elements or the cells named for their red color, that is called as red blood cells, and the pale colorless white blood cells are called WBC, and the platelets which occupy less than 1% of the formed elements because they are less denser than red blood cells but more denser than blood plasma, and they form a very light thin buffy coat layer between the packed red blood cells and the plasma and centrifuge this blood. This shows the composition of blood plasma and the number of various types of formed elements in the blood. Coming to the what is meant by blood plasma? When the formed elements are removed from the blood, a straw colored liquid is called as blood plasma, which is simply called as plasma. It will be left. The blood plasma is about 91.5 approximately of water and 8.5% of solutes. The most of which 7% will be by weight only and or proteins. Some of these proteins in the blood plasma are also found elsewhere in the body, but those confined to the blood are called as plasma proteins. Hepatocytes, that is liver cells, will synthesize most of their plasma proteins, which include albumins, that is about 54% of plasma proteins, and globulins and fibrinogen. Certain blood cells develop into the cells. They produce gamma globulins, an important type of globulin. These plasma proteins are also called as antibodies or immunoglobulins because they are produced during the certain immune responses. These foreign substances, which are also called as antigens, such as bacteria and viruses, they stimulate production of millions of different antibodies. An antibody, when bind to the specifically to the an antigen, that stimulates its production and thus disables the invading antigen. Besides proteins, other solutes in the plasma includes electrolytes, nutrients, regulated substances such as enzymes, hormones, gases, and other waste products such as urea, uric acid, creatinine, and ammonia, and also bilirubin. Here we are going to discuss some brief regarding the chemical composition of this blood plasma. The formed elements of the blood includes three principal components. Just focus on the just points, that is red blood cells, WBC, and platelets. RBCs and WBC are whole cells, and platelets are the cell fragments. These RBCs and platelets have just a few roles, but WBC, which are having a number of specialized functions. These several distinct types of WBCs include neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, basophils, each of which having a unique microscopic appearance, carry out the different functions, which we can discuss clearly here. These red blood cells, WBC includes the granular leukocytes and agranular leukocytes, which we discussed in the previous video. Neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils comes under granular leukocytes, and monocytes, then T and B lymphocytes and NK cells will include under a granular leukocytes. And the third one is platelets. The percentage of the total blood volume will occupied by the RBCs is called hematocrit. A hematocrit of 40 indicates that 40% of the volume of blood is composed of RBCs. Actually, the normal range of a hematocrit for adults is around 38 to 46% for adult males, whereas it is 40 to 50% in the females. The hormones, the testosterone present is much more higher concentration in males than in females. They stimulate the synthesis of erythropoietin, the hormones that in turn stimulates the production of RBCs. Thus, this testosterone contribute to the higher hematocrits in male. Lower values in the woman during the reproductive years also may be due to excessive loss of blood during menstruation. A significant drop of hematocrit indicates anemia. A lower than normal number of RBCs. In polycythemia, the percentage of RBC is abnormally high and the hematocrit may be 65% or even higher. This rises the viscosity of blood, which increase the resistance to flow and make the blood more difficult for the heart to pump. Increased viscosity also contribute to high blood pressure and increased risk of stroke. Cause of this polycythemia include abnormal increase in RBCs production, tissue hypoxia, dehydration, and blood doping or use of EPO by athletes. These are the different uh, components that are involved in blood. I think this video helped you a lot. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel for more videos on pharma topics, and thank you.